The thought here was always going to be Dillon Gabriel and or Shedeur Sanders, and Dillon Gabriel before Shedeur Sanders. But the Browns drafting Shedeur Sanders has made this a thing because there are those who have a vested interest in Shedeur Sanders playing in the NFL and playing well that are kind of miffed by that selection back in April, and even more miffed by what it is that's going on in that quarterback room, because they basically got 4 quarterbacks over there because Deshaun Watson's still getting paid. He just ain't playing. Other part about this that I find interesting is, Joe Flacco is the age of really retired punters at this point, but he and Aaron Rodgers feel like they can play into their 40s. One of those guys can. One of those guys can't. So Dillon Gabriel, who is far and away the oldest first-time starter I can think of as a rookie, dating back to probably Kenny Pickett, is in a good position here. Kevin Stefanski's liked him from the jump. They got him in the 3rd round. And if you are going to list the positives for Dillon Gabriel, it's that he's made more starts than any other player in college football history, with something like 68. He's also got the most TDs responsible for by any quarterback in NCAA history, and he's tied with Case Keenum for the most passing TDs in the sport ever. And he finished 2nd in passing yards all time behind Case Keenum. Keenum, who needed 4 years to do it, and Dillon Gabriel, who needed 6 years and 3 different places to play: Central Florida, Oklahoma, and famously Oregon being the last. There was also the really cool battle that was developing between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders on the football field about who should be QB2. And usually it goes the way that it did. The guy that gets drafted ahead of the other guy ends up ahead on the depth chart. That's not just quarterbacks. That's almost everywhere. And at the quarterback position, you have to be very careful, though. But the Cleveland Browns have been anything but careful. As a matter of fact, short of the Chicago Bears, including the Chicago Bears, Cleveland's the worst place for any quarterback to be. Dillon Gabriel, for example, will be the 41st starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns since 1999. They just run through them. And there are lots of folks that don't want to see Shedeur Sanders even get a start at Cleveland. They would rather him just get traded to somebody else that might play him. But it's going the way that I thought it might go. Joe Flacco was going to come out, show everybody that he is still, in fact, Joe Flacco and not Tom Brady. And then you're going to get to see what the rookies can do.